Welcome to the Empowered Women Life Leaders podcast. I'm your host, Karen Bashford. This podcast is for every woman who has ever felt limited by her past, silenced by trauma, or held back by society's expectations. Each week, we will share powerful stories, expert insights, and practical tools to help you become the leader of your own life. I have the pleasure of having Suzanne Southers with me today. She's a personal shopper, stylist, colour analyst, beauty therapist, and her background is in retail for premium brands. And she also shared with me just a moment ago that she owned an accessory shop, which was also a cafe. So welcome, Suzanne. Please introduce yourself and tell us a bit about yourself.
Thank you, Karen, and thank you for the invitation. Yes, I've been a personal stylist for the last 18 years after working with many fashion brands, which I absolutely loved. I also have the ladies' accessory shop and cafe with my daughter. But when the lease on that finished, probably about 20 years ago, I was going to go back into fashion retail, but my sister-in-law suggested training to be a personal stylist. So I trained with House of Colour down in Watford, back then worked with them for 8 years, which was a fantastic grounding. But since then I've been independent, which gives me a lot more scope to work with ladies and men, which is absolutely wonderful.
Oh, I'm intrigued. How many men come to you?
Probably not that many, about 10%. Yeah, I did work in men's retail as well, so I enjoy working with them. But my passion is ladies, and ladies who are kind of 50 plus, who may be perimenopausal, menopausal, postmenopausal, going through changes, maybe body changes. We've been through lockdown, so I don't often they say they've reached a brick wall, don't know how to dress, and just helping them to look and feel fabulous again is an absolute joy.
I bet it is, because from my own personal experience, living on the farm during lockdown, I was very messy because I didn't have to appear very much in society as such. And it was easier just to underdress rather than dress. So tell me, what is it that makes a woman decide that she needs help?
I think a bit like that post lockdown, we've all become we all became very casual because we could. Also, once we want to start shopping again, a lot of the brands that we knew and loved have gone. There's so much choice out there. And if we do want to shop, it can be completely overwhelming. And I think women are looking out and up again. We're realizing that we've probably got to work for possibly, another 20 years. Times have changed. We don't have to look like our grandmothers did with, the grey shampoo in the set to the dressing beige. It's like a new chapter. And I think women are thinking, right, so how should I dress? How do I want to dress? And it can be quite confusing.
Yeah, I should imagine it is, because there's so much style nowadays that is aimed at the younger woman. And we've always been told, oh, well, if you dress like that, you're a mutton dressed as a lamb, or something like that. I can't remember the exact term, which would imply that as an older woman, and I'm an older woman, we're not supposed to dress ourselves well. And yet that's absolute fallacy, because dressing is an indicator of how good you feel about yourself, would you say?
Definitely. And it's about presenting our best selves. I mean, we can't dress like we did when we were 20. We'd look ridiculous. But if we look at women in France, Italy, well into their 70s, 80s, they still dress well, but they look appropriate. And it's a help ladies to look at what actually suits them individually, what shapes suit them, what patterns suit them, what necklines suit them, so they can look current without looking inappropriate and too young, which just gives them a few guidelines, some confirmation that they're doing the right thing already, and I offer them a few new ideas, a bit more variety, a few new colours, maybe some modern accessories that just update their look, and it helps them push down that barrier that they thought they were up against.
You obviously had an accessory shop. I'm intrigued. As an older woman, I adore earrings and I'm inclined to go for unusual earrings. And I'm not fussed whether they're supposed to be worn at night or special occasions. I wear them because I like them. How many women do you think struggle to acknowledge that they can wear something that's different, unusual, that most people would say, oh, you're supposed to wear it of an evening if you're going out somewhere special or something like that? How many women struggle with that, would you say?
Oh, a lot do, and especially post lockdown. We've gone quite plain, a bit utilitarian. I have a young client who's a fashion designer who's from the Philippines, and she said the Brits are quite very conservative. So I think it's knowing. It's also knowing what to wear that suits us individually, just as a guideline. Often larger people can wear larger jewellery, medium-sized people, medium-sized accessories, and smaller people, small, more delicate jewellery. It's not always the case, but that's quite a good starting point. And it's fashion as well. We don't wear so much big statement jewellery. Everything tends to be quite fine now, quite small, quite pared down. But if we can wear a necklace, if we can wear earrings and a bracelet, really helps to finish off a look.
You mentioned about larger ladies. Now, I'm the first to admit I have been somewhat large. And it was almost like I had to hide myself in baggy clothes. That doesn't necessarily serve very well, does it, though? Because you look like a sack of potatoes.
Right, yes, and it can end up looking like a tent. And often I find that larger ladies have actually got a decent waist. So if we wear more fitted clothes that are still comfortable, they've still got room to move in, we can tend to look a lot slimmer than trying to hide everything, especially in dark colours. Because if you think about black, it's quite a matte colour, it's quite solid, so it can actually end up looking larger than if we were wearing, say, navy blue or a lighter colour, grey, more of a dove grey, maybe a coral. So yeah, there are a lot of fallacies that we tend to stick to that actually aren't true.
No, tell me a bit about colour analysis. I can't say words today. Because I've had mine done, so I do know what works for me and what doesn't. However, I've seen ladies that I've looked at, and I tend to try not to judge, but I'm also conscious that sometimes they're wearing something that really they shouldn't be. A, because it doesn't flatter them, but the colour is so wrong on them as a person, but just their size as much as anything. So, how do we know what's the best colour for ourselves?
Ah, with colour analysis, we look at which colours actually suit our features, our skin tone, our natural colouring best. Which colours will enhance our skin tone and our features. And it might be that we're yellow based, we suit the yellow based colours, like an orangey red, for example, or we suit the blue based, the cooler colours, and we look better in a burgundy red. But an easy way of doing it is just hold a garment up and see if your face lights up. How do you feel in it? Do you feel good in it? compared to a different colour. Maybe you've got a choice of two in one style. See which one makes you look happier, brighter, which one makes your features stand out, and actually your face shape, which one defines your face shape more, because that's one of the benefits of knowing which colours to wear.
Not heard of that one. Explain that a bit more.
Oh, okay. Yes, with the wrong colours, we can look a little bit fuzzy. Our skin tone can look, it can look a bit mottled, a bit red. Our hair colour won't look as defined. Then if we put the right colours on, our hair colour looks stronger, our features look stronger, skin tone evens out, and our face shape looks more definite. So if we're doing, if we're doing on videos, if we're online a lot, presenting, if we can wear the right colours, we'll tend to stand out more.
So I know I can get away with really vivid red.
Oh,
And I love the colour. I absolutely adore the colour. But I also know that putting a really pale colour on me just washes me out. Unless I've got a really good tan, and then it's not too bad. So I suppose my question would be, when do you need to have your colour analysis done?
oh, I'd say right from being a child, ideally, because we're born suiting a certain set of colours. And actually, when I was training, we were told that if you leave small children to choose their colours, they'll choose the right colours for themselves. But at any age, it's great for teenagers. It helps them choose the right things if they're going for job interviews, going for university interviews, someone who's starting work. If we're going for an interview, maybe starting in business, maybe going from a corporate world to a more relaxed occupation. But actually, at any time, I've had ladies in their 80s have their colours done, and they love it, and it does tend to make them look younger and brighter. So I'd say at any time in life, it is a good time.
I like the idea that children know instinctively that what colour is right for them, because for me, I know for a fact that as a child, I used to adore bright colours. But my mum would often say, no, no, you can't wear that. It's not suitable for school or whatever we were doing. And yet, as you say, it's an instinct, isn't it? It's a colour we adore because it's right for us. So I suppose at that time I was wearing red a lot as well, if I could get away with it. So if a child knows that, do we not carry that through to adulthood, or do we actually start ignoring that instinct?
Yes, sadly, yes, we do start to ignore that. And then sometimes I'll put different colours on ladies, and they'll say, oh, I used to wear that colour as a teenager. I used to love that colour. And I think, like you say, we start to hear other people's opinions. We start to see what the fashion world is telling us we should wear, what social media is telling us to wear. And we stop listening to that inner voice.
Hmm.
It's funny you should say that, because when I was small, I was forever making outfits for my dolls, and I love the old cutout dolls. But there was no one in my world that worked in fashion. So initially, I trained to be a nurse, which didn't feel right at all. But if I'd known back then that that was my path to follow fashion and make ladies look fabulous, I think I'd have been happier. No, it wouldn't have taken so long to traverse to this point.
That's it, isn't it, though? Because as children, we're encouraged to go a path that at the time used to be, well, if you do this career, you're likely to be in it for life. Obviously, that doesn't happen anymore. But it's amazing how we take a long journey to get to where we are now. And it's the same with the confidence of actually saying, no, this isn't right for me. And I think for me, from my understanding of colours and clothes, from my own experience, they give you a sense of who you are. Do you think?
Definitely, yes. And I get ladies to, before we meet, I get ladies to dig deep. I send them a questionnaire and get them thinking about what they like, what they don't like, and how to actually, how they want to present themselves. How do they want to be seen in an ideal world? And then we can work towards that. And once they've had their colours analysed, I put together a shopping board for them with lots of ideas for them that they can just click on and shop, so that they have an idea of how to put together their colours as a capsule wardrobe.
So how many items would you suggest in a capsule wardrobe then? Because I know when I was younger, I used to go and buy clothes a lot, but they were always stuff that I'd wear for work and highly unlikely to wear at home. So there was always two sort of wardrobes, work, home. And yet nowadays, clothes, if you're going to buy good quality clothes to last, they're expensive. But you can go and buy the cheap ones, which don't necessarily last very long. So how would you suggest setting up a wardrobe, that capsule wardrobe?
Oh, well, I suggest to ladies to buy good quality, but it doesn't have to be full price. We can buy in the sales. We've got Vinted now, which is amazing. Um, And if people wear trousers, say four pairs of trousers in neutral colours like grey, navy, brown, and then about 8 tops in of various colours. Then once they know their colour palette, they'll all mix and match. Maybe a jacket, 2 or 3 dresses, a coat, a few pairs of shoes, say 4 necklaces, a couple of scarves. So we don't have to have loads and loads of clothes. Again, like French women, they'll have a capsule wardrobe that's good quality, and they'll rotate their clothes, their outfits within that wardrobe. And that's what I tend to do. I just have a small wardrobe, but I wear everything. It's good quality, and I feel good in everything I wear. Otherwise, it leaves the wardrobe. I haven't got room for it.
Yeah, and then your clothes get all squashed up and everything else. So you take them out to go and wear them and then have to iron them before you even start. So yeah. Okay, so my question then would be makeup. How would you suggest women do their makeup? You've got them to have the colour analysis. You've told them what best suits them, so they now know that. I know you take them personal shopping as well, so you can guide them to find the right style of clothes and such like to make it easier. Or if they've got a special occasion, they can come to you for your guidance and you can go and actually help them find the right item. But what about makeup? Because for some women, makeup is vital. For me, no. Lipstick, eye makeup occasionally, and that's it. I do not put makeup on my face because my face really doesn't like it. So what would you suggest for women to make the most of their beauty, to enhance it, as well as their clothes and styles?
I think starting with a good skincare regime so that our skin looks healthy and hydrated. But then I'd find out, like yourself, how much makeup does someone like to wear? It's no good me suggesting lots if they're not going to wear it. So I say to them, all we need really is maybe a tinted moisturizer or foundation, mascara, lipstick, and some blusher. They're the basics. And then if they want to add more, then we'll talk about different coloured eyeshadows. You know, eyebrows, defining eyebrows always helps to make us look more youthful and more definite. But generally, I'd try a coral lipstick compared to a pink lipstick and see which one suits their skin tone best. And that's an indie. Coral tends to suit yellow based skins, pink tends to suit blue based skins, and that's a really good starting point. But I'd work with them and just help them choose the colours that suit them best. But one thing I do say to them is, as we mature, our lips tend to become more pale. So if we can wear lipstick, even if it's just a hint of a colour, it helps to make our lips more defined, and we appear more visible.
That's an interesting one. I hadn't realised that about the lips paling. So yeah, that makes sense. I'm going to ask you a question because I love suntan. I look really good in a suntan. Now, I would say to anyone who doesn't want to tan, that's fine. Use your protection and everything. But what difference does it make for your choice of clothing if you've got a tan to not having a tan?
Generally, you'll be able to wear brighter colours, brighter lipsticks. But if you've had your colours analysed and you know which palette suits you, you won't change because we're born with a palette. You'll just be able to wear some of the stronger colours within that palette.
Interesting. Okay. So what would be your top tips for ladies looking to improve themselves clothes-wise, styles-wise? What would your top tips be?
Okay, so start with grooming. Have your hair done, and if you don't, a lot of ladies now don't want to colour it anymore, but they like to they want to stay grey. But I'd say make sure your hair's in good condition. Have a good haircut. The same with your skin. Look after your skin. Maybe go and have a facial. Get some advice, because once our skin tone is looking healthy, we tend to look more youthful because it dries out as we mature, and then makeup doesn't sit as well. Have a look for some good quality clothes. Realise that you're worth it. We work a long time. We look after lots of people, and we tend to put ourselves on the back foot. But treat yourself to some good quality clothes, even in the sale, even on Vinted, and have a bra fitting, because if we get the foundation right, and a well-fitting bra makes clothes look, they hang better, and we tend to look more youthful. So I'd say hair, skin, good quality clothes, and have your bras fitted, because apparently a lot of ladies are a different size after lockdown. I suppose we sat a lot more, we probably ate a lot more, relaxed more, so it's worth going to someone who will check your bra size and suggest good quality lingerie.
Yes, I agree with that because I know after lockdown I had changed, and it wasn't until I actually went to a bra fitter that I realised quite how much I had changed. And it wasn't because I had expanded, it was because, as you say, I was doing different things. So I'd actually changed my shape anyway. So it's an interesting point because most of us just go into the shops or online and buy a bra because that's what we've always brought. So it's an interesting point to raise that. We come into the end of the talk and it's been enlightening. You've raised points that I think so many women need to be aware of. Is there anything that you would like to share as the final point?
Just to tell ladies that they can look their best selves without an awful lot of effort if they just look at the points that I suggested. And I think it's about loving ourselves and just presenting the best possible version of ourselves that we can. And I'm always available if anyone would like a chat about anything.
Well, I will be including your contact details on the podcast and on YouTube so anyone can reach out to you. I appreciate your time and for your insights into styles and making the most of yourself. So thank you so much, Suzanne, for being here with me.
Thank you, Karen.